what I want to talk to you about, and then I'm going to tell you what pumps me up and what gets me excited for the future and what I'm aiming at and why I'm here and what I'm here to do and what I'm going to do during launch and what you can do is really what I want to say. There's a difference between selling something to make money, which is what we've done a lot of that, but we've also made great products. But there's a difference between making a great product and selling something that's the best product, right? And what this is really going to do, it's not just about the launch. This is about changing the face of Empower Network. See, all of you guys have been making money, and you've been having commissions coming in, and you've been making sales, and you've been having your checks go up, and you've been out there, and you've been blogging, and you've been doing it on good technology. You've been doing it on a good product. But there's a difference between a good product and the iPhone. There's a difference between what's there to just sell and the very best you can have. What this is really doing is this is going to make Empower Network the Apple of the internet space. This is going to make Empower Network into a new kind of animal. It's going to make it into a beast. And that's why we call it the Blog Beast, because we're going to help you release your beast through what we're doing. And I want you guys to realize that we've done what we've done, which is almost putting in 200,000 customers in hundreds of countries around the world, with people who barely even understand English are buying our products because they're so danged excited about it. And we've put all these people in, and we've made these changes, and we've gone out there and created this influence, and we've made this impact, guys, starting over a kitchen table in Costa Rica, with a handshake between Dave Sharp and I, originally actually September 15th of 2011, and then we actually launched October 31st, and our site didn't work, and we didn't understand technology. And we've taken that, and we've put 200,000 people in, and then we've taken our money and we've reinvested and we've reinvested and we've reinvested. We've invested our own affiliate income. We've thought about it. We've sat there with some of the brightest minds in the world, and we've said, how can we make this into the beast that we all know that it can be? And that's what's created EN version 2. EN version 2 was actually an original idea we had when we launched, because we knew what we were launching with, which was a heart. You know what I mean? We were launching with love for the people. We were launching with a desire to help you be great. We were launching with a vision to help you be the best you can be, to empower you, to lift you up. You know, the COO was down here in Costa Rica hanging out with me the other day, and he says, Dave, I'm still trying to wrap my head around the real vision of Empower Network. And I'll tell you what the vision is. It's the name Empower Network. That's the vision. Because what does Empower Network really stand for? It stands for the mission of this company, which is to empower you and lift you up, to empower you to do things that you didn't know that you could do, to empower you to create businesses that you didn't know that you could have, to empower you to share your story, to empower you to get your face out there in front of the world, to empower you to build your brand, to create incomes for your family and for your kids and for your kids' kids, to empower you to change your life, to empower you to be able to do things like vanish because you had some fascinating issues that popped up that are quite unique, and then realizing that they're not so unique, that in fact you have a kinship with hundreds of thousands of other people around the world. It's empowering people to step up into a new level of awareness in their life. That's the mission. That is what Empower Network is here to do. And what's this blog here to do? This blog is here to empower you to share your story with the world, to empower you to build your business and lift your family up, to empower you to know that not only can you be better, not only can you do more, but you can do it with your iPhone on an island hanging out in the middle of nowhere, putting a video out there by saying, hey folks, I just want to tell you I'm living the life send, and all of a sudden there's a blog post out there getting reblogged by thousands of people around the world. It's not just a launch, it's not just getting it all hyped up for the next big internet thing, because we are the biggest internet thing already. This is not about an internet thing, this is about a life thing. This is about empowering you to become great. Here's what I really want to say, though, about what we're going to do, guys. I want you to realize that this is a special time. There are moments in time, it's like destiny, you know what I mean? And I don't know if you guys believe in destiny, where it's like there's lines that cross through the universe, people's timelines running through space. You know, Tony Rush has got his life and it's going this direction. I've got my life and it's going here. You know, Dave Sharp's got his life here. You know, Dave Sharp's life started with addiction and drugs and alcoholism, and then he decided to become clean, and he got set free, and he got onto the internet, and he decided to become great. You know, Tony Rush started in a bookstore, you know, as a manager, making like $3 an hour or whatever they make there, and then he got into involved in building businesses and pounded the phones for years and years until he was so burned out that you know, he was about to quit, guys. I mean, I don't know if he's going to go back to Walden Books or what he's going to do, but he's about to quit. And Lawrence Tam, he got started, and he was like Dilbert, you know what I mean? He actually had a tie. I don't know if you ever saw Lawrence's old tie, but it actually used to just kind of curl by itself and lift up like this, just like Dilbert, and he used to sit in a cubicle. And we've got these people's different lives in different situations running through time, and they all meet in a special place at one time, and it changes all of our destinies. This is one of those moments in time, because what this is going to do is this is going to empower you to share a message with the world where not only do you know that you're out there with something good, you know you're out there with the best. Not only can you be proud to look somebody in your eye and say, they say, what do? You can tell them, I'm an Empower Network, damn it. And you know, the thing is, folks, is this is going to change everything for all of us. You know what I mean? There's going to be people on this call that are going to make $100,000 in the launch. There's going to be people on this live stream or Google Hangout or whatever it is who are going to make the first commission that you've ever made in your life. There's going to be people on here who finally make a decision to build this thing with everything that you've got, because you know that you're in the right place at the right time, and you know that this is something special and different. There's people on this webinar right now who I'm talking to you because you can feel it. You know what I'm saying? You're getting riled up. You want to pace around, but you got to sit in front of the computer and continue to watch because you're so enwrapped in this and what's going on. And there's somebody listening to the sound of my voice who's another Dave Wood, like I was back in 2009. There's people on here who are struggling with all kinds of things in life, and our paths, although divergent, have crossed right now to change all of our destinies and empower us all. That's what this is really about. And guys, here's what's going to happen. Let me just talk about the future here. What's going to happen is this is going to multiply the company by a huge amount. I'm not going to say 10 times, although it could be 20. It's just going to be a lot. It's going to multiply the company for a handful of reasons. Number one, this shit's just freaking awesome. You know, Tony Rush, you know, I'm sure he'll tell you, but he logged in the other day and got a chance to test out the new BlogBees platform, and his response was, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It sounded like a schoolgirl, you know, who has like a new dress, you know, is what it sounded like when he was using that thing. And this is Tony Rush. Keep in mind, I think Tony Rush has posted 3 blog posts ever, you know what I mean, since he's been in the Empower Network. He sends emails. He doesn't blog. But Tony Rush, he's, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Can I use it? Can I blog right now? You know, he wanted to blog. He was giddy. Like Tony Rush, this manly Walden Books man who makes $100,000 a month, was sitting there excited, passionate to pick up his phone and to blog from his phone and start blogging on his computer and start sharing it with his team and to start sharing his message with the world. This is so easy that grandma can do it. It's the easiest thing out there to use. It's the best thing there is out there to use. It's cost millions of dollars in technology, and you can be proud of it, and you can be proud of what we're doing. The launch videos itself, the launch cost us like $700,000. I don't even know if David talked about that. He sent me an email the other day, and they were saying, you know, how much the launch cost? I was like, $700,000. I mean, we're just, you know, this is just amazing how much we put into this. But why do we do it? We do it because when you're spending money on people, you're not spending, you're investing. Because I realized something, that the reason I could just disappear and go make sure my mind is in the best place that it could be, and come back and realize that you're all more powerful. The reason I can do that is not because of technology. The reason I can do that is not because I'm the richest man in the world. The reason I can do that is because of you. The reason I can do that is because of people. The reason I could do that is because I've given my heart to you, and we've given our hearts to each other. We've put our souls into the marketing that we've done here at Empower Network. The reason I can do that is you, and it is not spending money when we invest money into you, when we invest time and resources into you, and when we reach out there and we say, look, I just want you to be able to be the best that you can be. I want you to be able to step into the power that you've always known that you have. I want you to be able to rise up inside and walk in your gifts and talents. I want you to be able to speak from your spirit, man, like Justin Berengia does on stage, just filled with power. I want you to be able to take a month off and have your income grow like just what just happened to me. I want you to be able to travel to the beaches of the world and be able to go down to Colombia and to be able to come down to Costa Rica and be able to get huge houses and to be able to buy fancy cars and to be able to go and buy $1,000 sunglasses and to get $1 million ring. I want you to be able to do these things, and that's why we do what we do. We do what we do not for us. We do what we do because we are the ones right here, and who, when I say we, I mean you. We are the ones that are in Power Network that had the audacity to step into a different kind of future and to change the world with our vision. That's what the Blog Beast is really all about. It's about unleashing the beast within. It's about unleashing the power that you've got deep down inside. It's about unleashing your story on the world through the power of mobile technology. It's about taking the best of technology and the best of people and the best of script writers and the best of Hollywood and the best of the internet and the best of the hearts of the people and putting them into a space where we can just do more together. So let me talk about the plans here and really what you should be doing. Okay, we've got a handful of things. You know, the events are starting like you know what, in a week or something. You know, I got to pay attention to stuff. You know, I actually don't even know where I am ever. I'm in a hotel room right now, and I'm going to be in this big house, and then I'm going to Anaheim, right? Guys, we got an event in Anaheim, and let me tell you what's going to happen. We're starting the launch the first day of that event, and so everybody who's a customer of Empower Network, you're all going to have the EN version 2 blogs that first day. Now in Anaheim, I want everybody to bring your phones. Look, I used to not have a phone, and nobody has my number still except for Dave Sharp, and I think Tony has it, but he never calls me because he didn't know it. But you guys all should get a smartphone. Android phone or an Apple phone are fine. We have apps for both because I want you to take those with you, right, to that event in Anaheim that first night. That's the first day that EN version 2 is going to be unleashed on the world, and you guys are all going to have access, of course, for free because you're already customers. Because you know what we're all going to do? We're going to be ranting and raving and screaming with checks on the stage, with people having fun, with people having breakthroughs, with people crossing over that emotional bridge and doing something different, and we're going to have our phones out in the air making videos live, and you know what's going to happen? Those videos are going to be on 10,000 domains in 5 minutes, posting on people's Facebook walls, and Power Network is going to take over the damned world is what's going to happen. That's going to happen in Anaheim, and this next month, everything that we do is important. Everything that you do is important because Anaheim is going to feed into Dallas and going to feed into Washington, D.C. That's going to feed into the Orlando event, all the process of having this launch go on. And as we do, we are going to get more attention, right, than the President of the United States. It's just what we're going to do, right? And he gets a lot of attention, call it good or bad, right? We are going to get a lot of attention, a lot of exposure. We're going to be in everybody's Facebook feeds on the internet all at once through thousands of different websites that are all part of the most powerful thing ever. You guys who are here have an opportunity to build a business quicker and faster than you've ever had an opportunity to do in the past. I want you to take this seriously. Okay, over the next few days, what should we all be doing? We should be reaching out and connecting with our team, making sure our team's on board through email, personal conversations with people that you know you're really close with, that you know can move people. Just make sure they're on board with the message. Make sure that they're on board with launching with you. Because remember, it's not just about you making sales here. It's also about your team succeeding. It's also about the company succeeding. It's about lifting everybody up and everybody making sales. The more unified we are, the more successful we all are. For a lot of reasons, including our contest, which is going to be wired a little bit different. Guys, this contest that we're having, and I don't know if we should release the details, but the details will be up here in the next day or so. It's got to finish being coded. There is going to be people in that contest who will win large six-figure bonuses, okay? Let me just put it that way. There's people on the live stream right now who can get a six-figure bonus in that launch, right? Because we're going to have an upsell going on that's going to go into a bonus pool that's going to be divided by how much money that you're making, okay? And there's people that are going to be able to get massive, I'll just call it this, massive ass bonuses, okay? There's no beast ass bonuses. If you could just imagine this giant beast with a huge ass, there's bonuses coming out of it. That's what they're going to be called. And guys, I want you to realize that it's a good time to work a little bit. We got Christmas coming up. A 6-figure bonus or a 5-figure bonus isn't a bad thing to get before Christmas, right? Right, Lawrence? I mean, that's exciting even for Lawrence, you know, who doesn't spend any money and probably has every dime that he's earned in a bank somewhere, you know, saved. So the contest is going to be wired different. We're going to have bonus pools in there that everybody on here is not just the top guys. You're also going to be able to access them if you're one of the regular folks. All right, we're going to have bonus trainings all next week as the cart shut down to teach you guys how to capitalize off the launch, to teach you guys, so we're all unified, how to use the new platform, to teach you guys what we're going to do together. All right, how can you capitalize the most? Take it seriously from today on, number one. Decide to focus all your energy. Decide to focus your vision. Like Dave Sharp says, you know what I'm saying? He's like, hey, look, everything I've done in life is from focusing, right? We can all wander all over the place all that we want, and they say, you know, we're going in all these crazy directions. But it's when we decide to focus in a single direction with a single vision, with a single mission, when we decide to focus our energy like a laser beam, right? What does it do? It concentrates the power of the sun going in every direction into a laser, and it cuts through everything, right? That's what happens. Decide to focus, guys. Decide to focus from now until the launch. Reach out, connect with the relationships you have. Connect with the leadership in your team. Make sure they're on board for what you're going to do together. Create your action plan in your team. Look, there's a difference, guys. You know, people buy products, right? Like, you know, Apple releases a product. They say the iPhone 6 is coming out. And what do the people do who have money? Like, they just go buy the iPhone 6. A lot of people just put them in credit cards, right? They buy the next thing Apple comes out with because Apple comes out with good shit all the time. It's what they do, right? Guys, another thing people buy, though, see, they're not just buying the technology. They're buying into the vision of Apple, right? People buy into you. People buy into what you're doing. I had a breakthrough, actually. One of the biggest breakthroughs I ever had was listen to Eric Worre speak. And Eric Worre, I remember he's standing in front of a room. He's like, people don't buy in. People buy the company, sure. They buy the product, sure. He says, but you know what they really buy into? They buy into the vision of what you're going to do. Look, because I got a huge vision, right? I got a big one, and that's why we can track these people, because Dave Sharp and I together, we got a big vision. The leaders got a big vision, and they overlap with each other. But it's your vision that's going to surround you with people. Not what are we going to do, but what's your vision for the launch? What's your team going to do with the launch? What are you going to do with your business in the launch? What are you going to do, not just for yourself, but for your team in the launch? What are you guys going to do together? This is the time to create an action plan. This is the time to put your energy and your heart out there. This is the time to get a whiteboard out and start making your action plan, and stay up drinking coffee if you need to, unless you're Mormon, in which case drink chocolate milk until you sit there and you've got your plan. This is the time, guys, when you can decide to do something great with your business and make it happen like that. This is your time. The question is, what are you going to do? And are you clear on what you're going to do? Because regardless on whether you do it or not, this is going to be big, right? It's not just going to be big, it's going to be beast big, right? And I don't even know how big that is, because it's bigger than we can all imagine, right? Make your action plan. Cast your vision. Start talking about it. Start putting it out there. Start talking about what's going to happen. Start talking about the future like you know the future. And this is a big difference, guys, between somebody who's a leader and somebody who's not a leader. The big difference between a leader and somebody who's not is a big leader doesn't subdue themselves to the visions of other people. A big leader goes out there and they create the future from their heart. They create the future from the words that they speak. They create the future, and that's how they know it. They don't know the future because they're prophets. They don't know the future because they're predicting things that haven't happened yet. They know the future because they know that they create it. When they step out there and they say, this is what I'm going to do, that's it, period, right? That's what you need to do. What are you going to do with the launch is the question. We're going to have the emails. We're going to have stuff to reblog. We're going to have videos going on. We're going to have events going on. We're going to be going from city to city to city across North America, spreading the good news, right? Which is you can make money a lot in this launch. We're going to be doing some very cool things. The question is not what we're going to do, because we're going to do it regardless, because we've decided. We've already cast our future. We've already spoken our vision. We've already spoken our dream. the question is not what I'm going to do, not what Dave Sharp's going to do, not what Tam's going to do, not what Tony's going to do. The question is, what are you sitting in the chair, leaning forward and leaning in, feeling that feeling going to do? What are you deciding right now is my question, because that's really what's going to determine the launch, right? I want all your energy to be in there. So all the capture pages are going to be directed to the launch funnel. We're going to have a massive contest that's going to have huge, huge, huge amounts of money that are going to be paid out, way, way bigger than we've ever done in the past because of the way that we're doing it. We've got plans on what's next. It's all feeding into these events that are going across North America. And let me just tell you guys this. What should you do if you're on this webinar? Number one, if you're not booked into one of those events, you need to be booked into at least one, right? If you go to two, I'd go to two of them. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't go to four of them. That'd be a little bit difficult, especially since two are happening the same week. But I'd go to a couple of them. I'd drive from one to the other, taking people in trucks with you. You know what I'm saying? Like we had this guy, we have this guy Jay out in Miami who he rents like a bus and he takes a bus full of people to an event. I imagine he's going to the Atlanta one this time. You know what I'm saying, guys? Get people to those events because those events are going to be the central hub of the explosion of social proof that's going to be happening with the beast, right? The beast, guys. This is not just going to be a launch. This is going to be a beast launch, and there are going to be people on here who've made a lot of money, and you ain't never made what you're going to make over this next month, right? And there's people on here, just to be fair, look, I ain't promising stuff, and I ain't God, and I can't predict the future, you know what I mean? But there's going to be people on here who just do nothing and make no money too. There's going to be people who after the month's over said, dang it, I should have participated. And there's going to be people who never would have considered doing Empower Network, and when they see that not only do we talk the talk, we walk the walk, and we create the best product too, now they're going to be in. There's people just recently that have made decisions to get in that are big, big, big players. There's big people participating in this as well as a lot of you. The question is, what are you going to do? And are you drawing your line in the sand, saying, this is it. This is my time. Because I'll tell you it is. So, I mean, that's really all I got to say, guys. There are special times because this launch is feeding into what's happening in January. These events are what's feeding into what's happening in January. And if you guys position yourself now, you make a decision right now, you create something new now, right? There is no limit to what we can do together when we're unified. There just isn't. There just isn't, you know? You guys can do things that you just never knew were possible. I never thought it was, look, I was so absorbed. I remember when I first started marketing, I never thought I'd be able to take off for a month and have my businesses grow. You know, I couldn't see that when I first started making good money on the internet even because it was so time consuming. And then I vanish, right? And because you're powerful, you know, changed everything. You know, I want to share something with you guys. I really am thankful for all of you, you know, and I mean it. It comes from my heart. Dave Sharp and I were talking, you know, some of you guys have no clue what we're talking about, so we'll just leave you having a clue. But, you know, I had a whole bunch of, personal stuff, just craziness happen at once. And which happens from time to time, you know what I mean? We're, I've said multiple times, I ain't perfect and I ain't God, just like you guys. In fact, I actually don't think I'm better than any of you at all. I might be better at some things and you're better at other things. And so the universe balances out with different kinds of talent and different kinds of people and different kinds of personalities. We're all important. Everybody on here is valuable. Everybody on here has got something to share with the world. And I just had all this stuff go crazy and it was consuming just my mind space and it just you know, my energy was off, you know. And I was talking to Dave about it and, you know, I was a little worried about, you know, how are people going to see this? And I just decided to do what I always do, was just, you know, to share the truth with people. And I just told you guys what was going on. You know what nobody expected, though, was how loving Empower Network is. You know, I went through the comments on my blog post and looked through that, and I just said, I got to be thankful for this. You know, I have never been around people like you guys, not ever, not ever. And I'm thankful for it, guys. I'm thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for who you are. you know, how forgiving you are, how loving you are. And that says everything, because this is not just about making a lot of money. This is about people and their lives. And if we're going to go out there and we're going to touch into people's lives, why not do it in a way where we're giving them the best? The best. It's time to unleash the beast, folks. It's time to unleash it. It's time to do something different. It's time to get your tickets to the events if you ain't done it, because you are, I'll tell you, you're missing something that will be unrepeatable. What event should you go to? The one that's closest to you, right? That's why we're doing regionals this time rather than one big event. Are we going to do a last-minute price reduction? Nope. No. We did that one time and we had some negative feedback from it. So we're not doing it anymore. So get your tickets to the events. Make sure you're there. Make sure your team's there. They won't go if you don't go. It's not just about that. It's about the content that you can create there that you can post onto your blog, guys. I want you to think about this. Empower Network has been one site, okay? And as one site, we've gotten into the top 250 sites on the internet as one thing, one site, okay? In, what, 10 days? I think 10 days, no less, 8 days. In 8 days, Empower Network is going to go from one site, 40,000. By January, we'll have 250,000, 500,000, right? Then the next year, we'll have 1 million in multiple languages, right? What can we do? You guys have proven to me what we can do. And I love you, and I want the best for you. Sometimes people get whacked out when I say I love you, but you get to know me. It's just true. I just got a heart for people, and I got a heart for you, I got a heart for what your family can do what you can do for your family, what you can do for your future. You know, this is important to me. You know, now I got a kid coming. You know, that's everything. You know, family's everything. I'm thankful for you, because you are not just an affiliate to me. You're my business family. Lawrence Tam is my family. Tony Rush is my family. Dave Sharp, he's like my brother. You know how cool it is, guys, to be in a place where it's not just about money. Money could be made. You know what I mean? Like, look, I've got the combined jewelry right now that I'm wearing is like more than I ever made in like 2 years before I got on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Money can be made. But people can be empowered. And we are the ones who have the audacity to change the world. But that's what this is. So the question is, I don't even know where this is, but I imagine there's comments on the page, is who is ready to just go crazy? Is the question. Who's ready to start talking about this and start getting pumped and start pumping people up and start connecting with people? Who's ready to create change in your life? Start writing in the comments. Start writing who's ready. Who's ready to make a difference for your family? Who's ready to make a difference for your kids? Who's ready right now to make a new decision about life? Who's ready for a new future? Who is ready for the beast to be unleashed? Who is ready now watching this webinar, watching this live stream, Google Hangout, whatever we call them now, right? Who is ready and realizes it's your turn now? Who sees the power in what we're doing now? Maybe you never saw it before. Who on this webinar is ready to step into a new kind of you? The kind of you that, you know who it is? It's not a different person. It's the person that's always been inside, but maybe has been clouded and just needs an opportunity to say, I'm planting my flag now, here, with my business family, because that's who you are to me. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And I'm done, dude. I just ready to just go out there and make everybody as much money as I can. Any thoughts?
Yeah, dude. You know, I'm just sitting here thinking, man. When we started this company, uh, we were in a hotel room, and I don't know that a lot of people really know what happened and kind of what transpired in the initial stages. But and this is the last thing I've got to say, and then we'll jump off unless Tam has anything. First and foremost, good to have you back, brother. I love you and I appreciate you. And I don't quite think people really realize and understand what we're all about until they get around us. And I believe that one of the biggest kind of misconceptions about Empower is that people think that it's something that it's not. And the truth of the matter is that from the very beginning, this company has been not something that was built for Dave and I. It's never something that we built for our own personal motives. It was always something that was built for people, for our teams. I was talking about this at the beginning of the call. It was built for the people in our teams who are struggling, the people who didn't have the time to build their business, the people that didn't have the skill sets to go out there and to recruit automatically on the fast track. It was built for the average Joe to come in. And tomorrow, by the way, I'm recording something that I can't actually talk about right now, but I'm going to tell you something that's going to be the most ridiculous thing you guys have ever seen in your entire life. And again, I just can't talk about it, but I really want to. But I just said the average Joe thing, and it made me think of it. It will blow you away. It's hilarious and epic. It will go viral, and I'm excited about it. But I'll tell you, when we were sitting in that hotel room back in 2011, we invited a bunch of people from our list down to this event, and we were sitting inside of a stinky hotel room. And I specifically remember not only the way that it looked, but also the way that it smelled. Lawrence Tam was there, Rob Four was there, Ola and Scholler were there, Jamie Soriano, Andy Patowski, Tracy Walker was there, Alex Zubriff. I've actually got a piece of paper here of all of the people who were in that room and all of their incomes that they've made over the course of the last 23 months. And I'm going to tell you they're staggering. I want you guys to I really want you guys to understand that not only are you in a special place right now, but something special has been happening for the last 23 months. That the truth of the matter is there's no real explanation why it's happening. There's no real rhyme or reason. There's no real equation. There's nothing that you can say that makes it make sense. It is what it is because it was meant to be. And that's about as realistic of a perspective as I can give you, because the truth is that I could try to analyze the shit out of why Empower Network is Empower Network, but I'm going to tell you something. Empower Network is what it is because we've gotten past people's heads and into their hearts, because we've shared our hearts, because we've exposed who we are, we've been transparent, we've been authentic, we've told people that we've had issues, we've been completely upfront when we had merchant issues. I told you that I had a drug addiction. Dave told you that he had some issues and he needed to take some time off. Lawrence Tam has the same freedom and ability, so does Tracy Walker, so does Alex Zubriff, so does Vic Strisshouse, so does Justin Brengia, so does any one of you who's sitting on this call has the ability to go and do what you need to do and be yourself and live your life regardless of how far down you go, and we will lift you up and we will stand beside you, and we will not walk in front of you or behind you, but we will walk right with you, holding you up if we need to. I don't care if two people need to be on either side of you, literally holding you up as you're walking through a situation, my friends. The difference between Empower Network and everything else is that this is not just a business, this is a way of life. This is the difference between going out there and having a job and going out there and building a lifestyle. This is the difference between having acquaintances and building a family. And what we started back in that stinky, disgusting, and I say stinky and disgusting, just really because taking showers and eating was not a priority back in October of 2011. We stunk like shit. We weren't eating. We were hovered and crunched over our computer screens like this because we had a vision and we had a dream that was unreasonable, and we were unsatisfied with where we were at in life. We were unsatisfied with the places that people around us were. We were unsatisfied with where their families were. I was unsatisfied with going out there and being in the trenches and fighting and building and creating teams and interacting with people, and some come satisfied with that. And we decided to be, just like Wood said, and I love that, we decided to just be unreasonable enough to go out there and think that we could change the damn world. And maybe we haven't changed the world yet, but I'm going to tell you something, that together we've made an impact on more people than we can ever imagine just by going out there and sharing our stories, my friends, and always outdoing ourselves and being unsatisfied with where we are in life. No matter how good we're doing, no matter how much jewelry we got on, no matter how much money we got in the bank account, being unsatisfied with where we're at, simply and only because we realize that there's more people out there who we can really have an impact on. And there's, I still do certain things that I did 5.5 years ago when I got clean. I still go whenever I can into a treatment center, into a jail, or into a prison or wherever to speak and share. I still go and interact with people who are like dying, who are just coming off drugs, who are just getting done with being homeless. And I do everything that I can to give back, because I believe that you can't keep what you have unless you give it away. And I believe that the reason why we're all here is because we can do something more powerful together than we can do alone. And over the course of the last 23 months, guys, from those 50 people or whoever, how many ever people is between 45 and 50 or so people that sat in that room in Orlando in that disgusting, stinky hotel suite. I can still remember them kind of gathered around this whiteboard, and we didn't even have a whiteboard stand. We had this chair that we propped this old, ugly whiteboard up on, and I would go and I'd paint the vision and talk about the comp plan and the products that, we still were deciding on. And Dave would come up and paint the vision and talk about where our heart was and why we were even doing what we were doing. And guys, 23 months later, 3 people out of that room are in the Millionaires Club. We've got one, Tracy Walker, and I've got to just do this for legal reasons. Some people in that room made no money at all. And I just, again, for legal reasons, that you can see our average earnings. This is not a guarantee of success, anything. It's just a demonstration of what's possible. Tracy Walker is about to be inducted into the Millionaires Club, first female. She was in that room. Alex Zubrov is not far from being inducted into the Millionaires Club. He was in that room. Rob Four was also in that room. He's done well over $500,000 in sales and commissions. Chris Daugherty, Ed from Ohio has made well over 150. Chris Rushlow, Neve Arthur, Jordan Schultz, well over 6 figures in Empower. Jamie Soriano, right around 6 figures. Andy Potowski, Olin Shola, Angela Moore, but never really had any success in internet marketing or network marketing. Cynthia Social Cowgirl. Roy Harris, who's I believe he's darn near retired, and he's done a high 5 figures inside of Empower. Kim Tarr, Ron and Kim Olson, who I talked to at that little event of 50 people in that hotel room who had been trying to set up a blog for 2 years. Guys, out of 50 people, that's the results that were created from that small meeting, that gathering of minds to where vision was created, and we were just unreasonable enough to want to go out there and do something different, and just absolutely enough to really get people to say those guys are crazy. And look at what happened. Look at what happened from that. Look at what happened when people came together and put their egos aside and realized that there was a bigger reason, a bigger purpose for what we were doing. Guys, over the last 23 months, we've created more success stories, and I've seen more people's lives transform. I've stood in front of a blind man at an event who was blind and more fired up than anybody that I'd ever seen before. He was just blogging, feeling through his way from marketing on his computer. I've seen people decide not to commit suicide. I've seen people who have changed their marriages around, their lives around. I've seen people decide to move on from relationships. I've seen people quit drugs. I've seen people overcome speaking phobias. I've seen people overcome issues that they've been dealing with their entire lives. My friend, this is about building a business. This is about building a lifestyle. But more than anything, my friend, this is about creating a legacy for yourself, doing something big enough that not only you're going to remember for years to come, but you're also going to give your kids something to talk about, give your grandchildren something to talk about. My friend, you have an opportunity right now to do something that you will be proud of, to go out there and win and fight and lock arms with people who give a damn, who give a shit, to run with people who it's more important than just money, who want to see you succeed and lift up and raise and walk forward in your life and step out into your power and live and walk into the person that you were meant to be. And my friend, I'm going to tell you something, just like I do with Dave and Dave does with me and Lawrence does with me and I do with Lawrence and Tony and Tracy and all of our leaders and anybody else that I interact with or interacts with me, my friend, we're here for each other, not because of business, but because this is bigger than business. And my friend, the only question that I have for you is how big and unreasonable are you going to be during the month of October to go out there and do something that maybe people are going to call you crazy for doing, that maybe somebody has said you're unreasonable for doing that maybe even you had a spouse that you need to go out and earn some money to get them on board. Maybe you have somebody who's looking at you that's looking up to you. Maybe your kid in your household is looking at you and waiting for you to step out on that limb to go do something crazy so they can be proud of their mom or dad. Maybe you've got a parent who wants to be proud of their son. Maybe you just need to be proud of yourself for once in a long time. Maybe you need to remember what it's like to actually dream again. Maybe you need to remember what it's like to have your spirit filled with hope and inspiration and go out there and do something that somebody looks at you and says, what you said changed my life. My friend, the rabbit hole goes deeper and the sky is literally the limit. And I'm going to tell you something, what I can do with you guys and what Dave Wood can do with you guys is much bigger than what I can do alone. And that's why I'm also grateful. Grateful that, Dave, you called me back in 2011 and said come down to Costa Rica. Grateful that Lawrence Tam said, no, I won't sponsor your ass, Dave Sharp, because I'm too busy. Now go work with the guy on my team because I like to help my team back in 2009 or 10. I'm grateful for the challenges. I'm grateful for the failures. I'm grateful for Empower Network. I'm grateful for Dave Wood in my life. I'm grateful for you people in my life. And I'm going to tell you something. Let's lock arms and freaking unleash the damn beast. Dave, that's all I've got, brother. Just listening to you inspired me. I love you, man. Lawrence Tam, if you've got anything, any closing thoughts, feel free to let them loose, brother. Besides that, I'm ready to just go out there and tear this thing up. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Love you. Let's lock arms.